All right, guys, we finally have it. We have a list of videos that you got, or videos of your guys' favorite Alien covers. Thank you all that participated. Thank you. I had lots of people that put it in the comments, but that's not what I asked you to do. I asked you to make videos. So I went through and I pulled some of the ones that you suggested, and this is going to be sort of a PowerPoint slideshow video combined with all the others that did contribute. You'll get to see their opinions on different ones. So this is the top Alien covers chosen by you. And let's go ahead and let's look at some of these.
Hey, Paul here. I chose Aliens Stronghold number 3 simply because it's an alien smoking a cigar, which is awesome. A couple of my buddies like cigars. I like cigars every now and then myself, and so this is a winner in my book. The thing that caught me about this cover was the alien's teeth are yellow, because if you smoke too much, your teeth could turn yellow. So I don't know if that was an intention by the artist or just to match the background. But usually when you see aliens, their teeth are pretty stark white. So I thought that was a nice little subtle addition to the art piece. But yeah, that's why I picked this cover. They got me with the cigar. So that's my pick.
So that was Paul's pick. It's a great, and he sort of led me into some of the, there's some really weird alien covers out there. I sort of classified them, if you saw my Fisherman's Tale article from a couple weeks ago, just called odd covers. Here's another example. This is one I really like called the Alien Special. It has a couple of different stories within it, but Frank Terran did the cover of this. It's an alien wearing a bow tie. How awesome is this? But you have guys like Darko Macken and Frank Terran doing the art and writing, or you have Nancy Collins and Leif Jones on the other story. So there's some really unusual aliens books out there that are worth checking out. Some of them are hard to find, but they're still not worth a whole lot, but it's still sort of a cool thing to track down.
Hey, what's going on? It's Marco from the shows Tales from the Dark Side and MCM on the Tales from the Flip Side channel. Listen, when it comes to alien covers, I kind of had to put a couple together. They're the ones from 2000 AD. I collect a lot of 2000 AD stuff. And when you have Dredd, an alien going at it, you have Judge Dredd at one point threatening a little incubus of alien on a cover, as you can see down there. Like, love it. Alien coming from the back, the acid rain stuff. It was great. The whole series was cool, and the covers kind of did it. In the progs, you get 4 covers plus a variant. Now, Dark Horse did redo these, a little bit color variant on them, added in a trade paperback, as you can see down there. And then the last thing is a promotional art piece. The promotional art piece came in the first book. It's pretty cool. I do like the artwork throughout of it, but I also like the storyline. Instead of doing something like Terminex, they have these things called the Verminators that come in there, acids being sprayed all over. They do a lot of the tropes from the movie and a lot of the tropes from the Dredd storyline stuff. So check it out, and I'll see you on the flip side.
Spinning off of what Marco, thank you so much for dropping in, bringing up Judge Dredd and the aliens. There are so many different ones out there of spin-offs and flips and different things where he's combined with other things. So, of course, you had the Aliens versus Predator. This is my favorite cover. There's some really fantastic covers. This is from the Life and Death series, I think, written by Dan Abnett, who I loved. Him and Lanning did a bunch of the Annihilation stuff from Marvel. But just such a great cover by Sashin Ting. It's so much fun. Definitely loved it. But guys, it wasn't just Aliens and Predators, Aliens and Judge Dredd. It was Aliens versus Predator versus Terminator. Then you had these Aliens versus Batman. I love this cover. They did 2 Aliens versus Batman 1 and 2 series or whatever. This is from 2, but this reminds me so much of Batman Who Laughs. It's just such a fantastic cover. So guys, check out some of them. Once again, there's not a lot of value in these. They're just fantastic covers and worth checking out.
Hey everybody, Mike Morello here from CBSI's Cover Tunes and Cover Fire. I am here to just say what my favorite Aliens cover is. It has always been this 1992 Simon Bisley Dark Horse Presents Aliens cover. I think it's an incredible representation of this character with an immense detail. I think it really does great homage to the H.R. Giger designs from the original films. I know Bisley is a bit of a polarizing artist. Some people love him, some people don't. I think he's incredible. And the platinum version of this, which is the one that I have pictured, as opposed to the regular version that has the red logo, I always thought the platinum version was a little nicer, just because it had sort of that metallic kind of sheen to it, which worked really well for this particular character. And while I generally don't like gimmicky covers like that, in this case, the platinum was definitely nicer. Back in the day, back in the 90s, this was a really, really expensive, hot comic. Now you can get yourself a fairly nice copy for $10. So keeping in line with my Cover Tunes and Cover Fire covers at cheap prices, this is about as good as you're going to get for $10 for an Aliens cover. So hope you like this one, and hope you like the new series from Marvel. Thanks, everybody.
So, of course, Mike brings up classic covers and classic books, and so I wanted to touch on, there are some books that are a little more sought after just because of what they are. So you have the first cover here from the Dark Horse run. There's 5 printings of this, so you got to be careful. And like a lot of the books in the 80s, the print, you have to open up the cover and look at the end and see what printing it is. There are 5 different ones, but even a high grade is going to cost you a little bit, but still, it's not super expensive. So this is the first issue from the 1988 Dark Horse series. It's worth checking out. It's worth picking up if you can find it. And I think I've probably seen a 3rd and 4th print, but I've never actually found a first print. But I also don't go out seeking this out. So I don't know how common these are. But if you want to look at and get the very first Aliens books or Aliens printed stuff, you have to go to Heavy Metal Magazine from 1979. There's a 2-part story in these 2 issues of Heavy Metal Magazine. I was lucky enough, I did a Heavy Metal article not too long, I guess several months ago now, almost last year, that featured these 2 because I just picked them up. I found them in some back issue bin for like a couple of bucks each. And I knew these had the Alien stuff in it. This was just after Marvel had announced that they had picked up Alien Predator. So these are in good condition. I mean, they're worth a lot, but very seldom do you ever find Heavy Metal magazines in good condition from this time period. And then you have the trade paperback where it combined this story, and there's the Alien illustrated story made by Heavy Metal. It's a little trade paperback that you can find. I think there's a couple of printings of this, but if you just want the first appearance of the Alien, this is what you seek out. Try to track these down. I don't know how much you're willing to spend on it, but this is definitely something, if you want to get into the Alien, and this is sort of where you go. It's not really covers. There's no Alien on any of these covers, though even the illustrated paperback's the spaceship, because remember, this is based off the first movie, and the Alien was not seen till the end. And if I recall the story behind this, they were given the script before the movie had come out, so they did the sort of Star Wars. They didn't quite know what everything was going to look like. So check these out. Try to pick them up if you can find them, especially if you can find them cheap.
No, man, I'm totally one of those culty fans. I am.
Okay.
Well, Alien.
So am I.
Oh, cool. Yeah, dude. Alien.
Yeah.
I never had any doubts about that one. I've been running my whole life for that race without
That's
knowing
awesome.
without knowing it was coming. You know, I was just.
Are you a reader of that as well, or just a movie guy?
No, I love the books too, but I'm primarily a movie guy. I love the movies. I love the game Isolation. I know there are other games. The other ones didn't grab me as much. But I love the Alien Isolation game. I love all the films except Resurrection, which I think kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But I stand by all the other ones. And
what's your favorite? What's your favorite maybe old school book, like the Dark Horse years or one of those? What would you recommend to someone just jumping in?
Salvation. Yeah, the Mike Mignola, Dave Gibbons book was really awesome. Yep. I love that book.
Hello, my name's Joe Christie. I'm an artist and a comic collector. This is my favorite Aliens cover. It's by Mignola, who's one of the best ever. There's some spectacular spirally rhythm going through this cover. It really pulls you in, tells the story of the one shot that it's from, which is really good. If you get a chance, you should read it. This is my favorite one. Thanks.
So that was Phillip Kennedy Johnson, who's writing the new Marvel book. He joined us for Comic Creator Chats this past week, and he talks. Check out the interview. He talks about stuff he's been writing. Guys, we were so excited after sitting and talking to him. He's definitely a writer and an artist you definitely need to keep your eyes out for and listen to and look out for. And the Alien stuff, if you haven't read it, it is a really good start. And lots of potential there. But he did share one of his books. And I love the fact that he shared a book that our very first person that participated in the video, that was the first book he said. And And I went and I checked out that book. Guys, when you're talking about alien books that have any sort of value, this is one of them. That was the Salvation book. And then the other one here is this Alien Stalker. I'm not quite sure why this one is. The Magnolia, it makes sense. This one, Alien Stalker, where Alien is set back in the Viking time period, and it's just a time-traveling sort of affair. I think it's just such a weird one-shot, and maybe it wasn't heavily ordered at all. It's by Dave Wenzel. But these are the two, when I try to find them online, you don't find $3, $4, $5 copies. You find $30, $40 copies. I know Salvation is even harder to find. There's a trade paperback that comes with it that's sought after as well. So these are the ones, if you're looking for sort of obscure aliens books, they might be the ones sort of look out for. Now, that doesn't mean you won't find a long run of, maybe it's just no one lists Stalker. Now, the Magnolia, yes. That is one that is, of the 10, 12 alien book that are worth collecting, that's one that everyone sort of wants. I mean, shoot, the writer of Alien recommended his being his first choice when he was thinking of great aliens books. So.
All right, what's going on, everybody? This is Peter Renna, writer of Dollar Bin Digging over at comicbookinvest.com. What is my favorite alien comic book? I'm going to go a little outside the box on this one and not pick a traditional comic book per se. My pick is actually more of an illustrated novella of sorts. It's a hardcover with mostly prose with a lot of illustrations in it by Dave Dorman. Cover is just fantastic. And I'm talking about Aliens Tribes. I don't know if you know this book or not, but this cover is just fantastic. It's just the quintessential alien, head there on the side. And then it's actually a wraparound cover. It goes all the way around the hardcover, and you can see that there are more little alien heads, to add to the mix as well. It's just a fantastic image, and one that I just think is perfect for this, even though it's not an actual comic book. But Chris never said it had to be a comic book. But again, if you just look inside this thing, there's a lot of just gorgeous illustrations by Dave Dorman, and Steve Bissett did the prose writing, and you can just see it's like an illustrated novel of sorts, which is a little bit different. It's definitely a little bit different, but the art in it is completely fantastic and highly recommended. So if you don't have this, I'd recommend checking it out. Aliens Tribes is my pick for my favorite alien cover.
So my favorite Aliens cover right now would be the Aliens Vampirilla 1. So my favorite Aliens cover right now would be the Aliens Vampirilla 1 Baltimore Comic-Con exclusive from Dynamite in 2015. And this captures the alien as it's in the design cover and sketched as it was, as I remember them in the 1980s.
So you just got to see Peter Renna and Phil from Vintage Comic and Toys share two of their favorite covers. Peter, they both dropped books I hadn't even seen or heard about. I love the sharing illustrated novels, a great way. Gorgeous book there from Peter. And then Phil dropping the Baltimore Comic-Con cover that I had not seen. It's a great cover. I'm not sure how rare it is. There are select few books out there that are just floating around that people, like, you don't find them listed on sites. People know about them, and they never show up on eBay, and that might be one of the covers that is that way. I know I'm in an Aliens ECGC group, and one guy said, I finally found the last Dark Horse Presents from Obscure Comic-Con, da-da-da-da, and it's like, I didn't know that book existed. But right here, what you see beside me here this is the Aliens and Vampirilla. Dynamite did it instead of Dark Horse. These are Dynamite books because of Vampirilla. Every one of them has a cover and then a 1 for 10 or 1 for 15 variant that are sketch covers that are just ridiculous. Gabriel Hardman, I love his style, so I'm drawn to these anyways. I'm not a diehard Vampirilla fan by any stretch. I'm not Morello. I don't go crazy for Vampirilla. But I love this cover. I love the sketches, and these are a little bit harder to find. They do have a little more value for a Dynamite book even, but for an Aliens book, they are $15, $20. So, I mean, they're about at incentive price. But to have the complete set, I think all the first 3 issues of it all had this option available to you. But then it looks like, as Phil pointed out, the Baltimore Comic-Con variant, there might be more out there. So keep that in mind. There are Aliens books out there that don't pop up on eBay because it was back when these small cons had exclusives that now people don't care about. So there are some of this stuff floating out there. So I love this cover. It's definitely worth tracking down.
This is Steve from My Bargain Comics. My favorite Aliens cover is The Boys number 38. It's the only cover to Boys number 38, and it's an homage to the Aliens movie poster, which has the alien egg on it, and it says, "In space, no one can hear you scream." This cover says, "The female of the species is more deadly than the male," which is a Rudyard Kipling quote. And unfortunately, people don't name their kids Rudyard anymore. But that's neither here nor there. This issue, it's not coincidence that this is the cover, and that's the quote on the cover. This issue has the origin of the female, who is the female member of the Boys, for those of you familiar with the series or the Amazon streaming show. It's a great issue, and it's a great call out to the original Alien movie poster.
So that's it, guys. That is everyone that participated. So there are lots of great Alien covers out there that you can talk about, that we can mention, that we can look at. I want to remind you guys to check out when we drop our video for Phillip Kennedy Johnson, the interview that we did with him. He is an artist and a writer that I'm excited to read more about his stuff. Sadly, I hadn't read it before. It's so exciting. Please look to this. Look to CBSI, comicbookinvest.com to see what they have coming. Thanks to everyone that participated. Thanks for the Tales from the Flip Side guys who threw in their stuff, from the Comic Mayhem, from Tales from the Dark Side. We have lots of different participants. Guys, I look to do some of this in the future for different things, because I love hearing our comic communities share their ideas for favorite covers. It's not just our job to tell you what's good. It's your job to say, hey, this is what I like too. So once again, guys, comicbookinvest.com. This is Chris Nelms with 3 Comic Money and comic creator chats and all these different great stuff at CBSI.